This is One on One. We are pleased to be joined by Dawn McLaughlin, Chief Bookmaker at Positively Publishing Kids. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great. Now, you've been writing children's books for a couple of years?
Over 20 years.
Because?
I love kids' books. I love to write.
And this Positively Publishing Kids started in 2014?
2014, I registered the business, but I had started a little bit before that. I had been writing stories, submitting them to publishers for over 20 years, and finally one day I got a rejection letter and I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I had received positive feedback, but never any contract. And so I thought, you know what, I need to find a way to do this myself. And that's how I decided to start it.
Create your own publishing
company. I didn't really want to self-publish, but I wanted to do something different. So I thought, why don't I start a publishing company? I had done some research and found about the lack of diversity in kids' books. And I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. I hadn't really been aware of it. And I don't draw, so I said, you know what, how can I do this? I have these stories, no pictures, what do I do to put them together? And so at the time I'd been working in Newark at Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I had worked with a lot of really amazing kids. And I thought, why don't I have a kid illustrate the story? And that's how, that's how the idea came up, yeah. I had seen so many talented kids just without opportunities, and I thought, you know what, that might be a great way for them to express themselves artistically, create income for themselves through the royalties of the books, and just have an experience that they wouldn't typically have.
So you hooked up with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
I was working there.
Oh, with Carlos and that team?
Yes, I worked there. Yeah, I just finished in September. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so Carl, go back for a second. When you say lack of diversity, I want to make sure everyone understands what you mean by that.
Sure. Yeah, 93% of kids' books lack diversity. And
meaning what? They mostly what? Just white kids?
Yeah. So I believe the breakdown is this. There's 3% African-American representation.
3?
2% Asian American, 1.5% Hispanic, and this is the crazy one. Less than 1% are Native American, have Native American representation in books. And it's been like this continually for years. And it's just, for me, if a kid doesn't see themselves in a book, why are they going to want to pick it up? Why are they going to feel they can relate to anything in that book? And I thought that was really important.
So your publishing company is dedicated to changing that?
Yeah, it's to creating diverse books and working with kids to provide them opportunities.
So, first of all, getting these kids, how do you get them?
That's hard. That's been pretty hard. I actually just finally got our second illustrator, and that was through a contact I had at Rising Tide Capital. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Yes.
Alma?
Yes, Alpha and Alex.
Yeah, they're over in Jersey City,
yes.
I think.
Yes.
This is a great organization. By the way, Rising Tide Capital, Google them. Great organization. They help organizations raise capital who are startups trying to make a difference in the community.
Yeah,
great team.
They help people that want to start a business or that have a business. They help them grow the business, and they help them just get started. So I took a class with them, and through one of my contacts at Rising Tide, I was able to get the next illustrator. Yeah. Wow. He's an 18-year-old young boy from young man, Jersey City University. Yeah, he's majoring in illustration. So.
Your first book?
My first book that I wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a crazy one. I don't know if I'll ever do anything with it. It's called For Green and McGrew. It's silly. It's about this little girl who hides change in her shoes, and it's just silly stuff.
Okay, now fast forward. The reason I asked that. Fast forward to the first book you published.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am?
Yeah, who do you think I am?
By the way, big difference between the book you first wrote and the book you published?
Absolutely. I learned a few things from then till now.
Who illustrated this book?
This is Hannah Rowe. She was a teenager. She's actually my daughter.
Is that right?
Yeah, and she was the last person I thought to ask. But she's been drawing since she was little.
She did this?
Yeah, she did. She's a teenager. Yeah, she did this, and she enjoyed it. Yeah, I couldn't find anybody.
What's the message in the book?
It's just about the possibilities. A kid can be anything they want to be. Anything.
And so when you're writing it, I'm always curious about this. As someone who's written a series of books that they're very self-help oriented, so it's not this. Do you have the end in mind when you start?
No. Well, this particular book is more affirmation, so it was easy. It was simple. It's in verse. It just rhymes. It's a series of affirmations, really. The other stories that I do write, no, there's no end in mind. I just start it and go.
But there's a message.
Yeah, there's a message.
Because you've read the book to kids in where? Newark?
To Newark, Harriet Tubman School, and Anna L. Klein in Gothenburg and Jersey City, yeah.
Well, okay, you're reading to them. You got to keep them engaged and involved.
Yeah.
That's not easy. I've read to our daughter's class, and I'm like, hey, aren't you listening to me?
Yeah.
You've got to pull them in, right?
Yeah, but I think I connect really well with kids. I have a little bit of a goofy side
We're
of me.
looking at you right there. What is the secret to it?
I don't
Connecting.
know. Just appreciating them for who they are.
Is
and
it
what
being
they
goofy
are.
too?
I think so. Yeah, it's being goofy, but just knowing that they are worth something.
Hey, by the way, I can see really cool notes to you that they really like you.
Yeah, I had fun with them.
What is it about kids and reading?
Reading, it opens up their imagination. It provides them information. And when kids learn to read books, they learn to communicate. And we know how important that is, communicating with each other. Especially in this world, we need to be better at it.
Before I let you go, what do you see as the future of your company and, more importantly, the impact you expect to have?
Well, eventually I would really like to have the kids write and illustrate the stories. I really would like to help close the diversity gap in kids' books and provide opportunities for kids to create income for themselves.
This is important to do.
I think so.
Kids need to see themselves, their stories, and identify. Dawn McLaughlin is the chief bookmaker at Positively Publishing Kids. I want to thank you for joining us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
It's important work. Well done.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. And by the Newark Museum, in cooperation with NJTV and 13 for WNET. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at Newark Museum has been provided by Bank of America, PSE&G, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the Fidelco Group, Johnson & Johnson, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, and by Barnabas Health. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.